Exercise 3, isometric grand pliés, relevé. Right, so now you have your first position, and I hope that you will always use this kind of turnout and not do things like this, you know, what you often see in ballet classes of people trying to, and then they're standing, and people standing and wobbling all over the place, because of course no one can stand up like that. So just use the turnout you have from here. But now what I want you to do is I want you to open far apart, not even a normal second position, but I want you to go to a very wide second position so that you look like a triangle, so that for this distance is equal to that distance. And we're going to do the most important plié, I think, in your life, which is called the isometric plié. And isometric means you're using opposing muscles. And if you'll notice, my knees are starting to bend. But if you look at the top of my head, I don't look like I'm doing that. So because I'm stretching up equal to the amount of energy I have in my legs. And this makes me work. My feet, my toes are gripping the floor, my ankles are working. I'm thinking of pulling my knees back. And I'm stretching. I can feel a stretch in my hips. And at the same time, I'm keeping my stomach in. I'm stretching out my chest, up my neck. So this is a lot of work. And you want to go until you can see that your hips are level with your knees. So you're in a grand plié or big plié position. And then to straighten, you're going to start in here. And you're going to use these muscles. And now you're going to try to resist. You're going to see if you can keep your knees out. You're still gripping with your feet. And you're going to straighten your legs. So the whole idea is that you're doing opposing things. You're stretching up, but yet you're going to plié. And I don't want you to think down, but I want you to think your knees are going out. And then your knees are out, but you're going to straighten your legs. So you're resisting, you're working in opposition. So this will give you a way to find all the important muscles you need to use whenever you do any plié, at any tempo, all the time. All right, let's do it with the music with Jennifer. So now you're stretching up, long neck, focus the eyes. Now you want to see if you can stay up. You're going to begin with your toes. You have 8 counts. 1, 2, you see it's very slow. 3, and you want to make sure it's in slow motion. You can hardly see you're moving halfway. 5, 6, good, knees back, nice and open. 7, 8, all right, now we begin to straighten. Now you're resisting. You want to think of knees out, yet you're going to straighten. So you're working and pressing down, stretching up. Always a strong center. This is 6. This is 7. 8. Now just for a moment, rest, relax the muscle, easy. Okay, let's start once more. And more resisting, more up. Up the front of the body, up the back of the neck, always up, up, up here. Thinking of turning out. You can feel the rotation, the top of the thigh, using your feet, bringing the knees back. Right. Feet always hold the floor. Still pressing down, strong feet. Now you resist, and thinking the knees back. And always opening across the shoulders, across the chest. Number 1. Slowly. Now you're going to continue, and you're going to push down, and you're going to rise. This will make you get off your heels. Good. Good. Now can you balance that? Easy. Good. Good. And use the bar. Good. Lower the heels. Good. And place your hands. Steady. Okay, then you can recover. Just relax now. Come back to parallel. Stand up. Right? Good. It's a workout. Yes. Good. Okay. Right, now let's do this sideways to the mirror, because I want you to check your number 1, and we're also going to do it without using the bar. So you'll just lower your arms, round your arms slightly in front of your legs, but most of all I want you to watch to see your neck, the back, stomach in, and working at the same time. You know, right? This is the same exercise, except we're going to do it facing this way, so you can really make sure you see your number 1 all the time, all right? And you can also see that your knees go over your toes. Okay, let's start with the music. So feet far apart. Good. Now find your number 1 and your arm down. That's important. So you can just watch what you're doing now. Eyes level, and the head stays. Good. You don't want to go down. All right. That's it. To use your stomach so you can really feel that rotation. And you're watching to see that you're moving slowly. Keep going. 6. Good. You don't want the tailbone to stick out. Good. 7. Right. Okay. pressing down. Now, this is the important part here. Watch that your knees don't roll forward. Always knee to toe. Good. And the hip, and nothing happening here. No squiggles in the body. And the stomach is flat. The neck is long. Good. You're coming up. This is 7. Now, I want you just to turn your head away so you can relax your neck for a moment so you don't get a stiff neck. And once more, and more up, and eyes far away. Also, when you're looking far out, okay, away from the floor. You always had energy up the back of the neck, up the front of the body, and legs going out. Feel those muscles are turning out. Good. And feet hold the floor. Now pressing down. Now you resist. Okay, you're always working opposition. Good. And you're watching to see that nothing alters here. The tailbone drops. Good. Long neck. And ears up. Right? See, ears back all the time. There's that number 1. Looking for that line. Show your number 1. Good. Now you're going to continue, and you're going to push down. Let's see if you can rise. Take your time. Pushing. Yeah, it's all right. Find it. Use the bar. That's what the bar is there for. Good. Okay. And slowly lower the heel. Okay. And you can rest. Good. Okay. Come back to normal. And shake it out. Right. Good. Rest. You're going to feel it. All right. Well, I guess you're starting to feel it, aren't you? Mm-hmm. But that's good. I want you to feel. If you don't feel anything, then nothing is happening. That's the thing. When you're studying dance, you know, you have to use your muscles. You have to start to find those muscles that are going to move your leg bones. And as I said, this isometric plie is really the way you must do all pliés, because it's either going to be what makes you work or doesn't. So let's do it this way. Get used to looking this way now. Nice and wide. You want to make sure you don't start cheating on yourself into a little position, right? It's not supposed to be easy. You know, if you want it easy, you can just lie down in bed, right? Okay, so here we go. Place yourself, and we're going to start with the music. And let's see if we can really tune into this beautiful music by Scott Killian. All right. Okay, now ready? And think up. So we're always thinking up, up, up as you're working out here. You don't want to go down. Good. Even steadier. We're looking for a flow of energy. So the movement is almost invisible. So that 8 counts later, here you are in a grand plié. Good, and you want to check the spine, right? And now slowly try to keep the knees back. Be careful you're not letting go here. Right, just drop the tail, right? And up the neck, supporting here. Stretching out across the chest. Keep pressing down. Good. Good. Then when you straighten, turn your head so you just relax the neck. Okay. And once more. Now more up, more up. And you're breathing through your back. So we have to start to coordinate all of this. Looking sideways, standing up. Number 1, turning out. Breathing with your back. Keeping the center. Never lose the center of your body. Good. Pressing down, working to turn out. Good. Hold on to the feet. You know, and anytime you need to, put your hand on the bar. That's what it's there for. So don't worry about using the bar. Okay? Good. Steady. Steady. Smoothly. Now we're going to push down. Pushing the floor lets you rise. Good. It's hard to balance like this, you know. We know that. Good, and up the neck. Good. Okay, and then slowly you can recover. Good, and bring yourself back to normal. Good, you can rest. Right, good. Okay, you want to do that.